After coaching hundreds of people, I can tell you that food cravings, especially the ones at night, are one of the most common reasons people struggle to lose weight. But the good thing is that with the right strategies, you can take control over them. So, in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can take control over cravings so the weight loss becomes much easier. One of the most common reasons why we experience cravings is due to unstable blood sugar. If you go a long stretch without eating, your glucose dip, and that's when your brains prefers fast, easily digestive fuel sources. That's why most cravings show up in a form of sugar or high carbohydrate, highly processed foods because they raise the blood sugar the fastest. So if you are busy all day and you're skipping meals and you don't eat for a long period of time and you come back home at night, that's why it's very common to experience food cravings at night. Another huge cause of cravings has nothing to do with hunger, but rather with dopamine. Foods that are sweet, salty, fatty stimulate brain's reward system. So every time when you eat those foods, your brain thinks this feels good, do more of it. This is why cravings can feel very urgent. Your brain craves the dopamine release, not necessarily the foods. Cravings can also be driven by stress. If you feel overworked, burnout, and stressed out, your body releases stress hormone, which is cortisol level, and cortisol level increases appetite and makes your body crave high energy foods, especially sweet and fatty foods. That's why after a long day of work, when you feel stressed out, you crave sweet or salty fatty foods. And that's when it's much easier at night to reach for snacks, ultra processed, high palatable foods. It's basically your body trying to regulate your stress and looks for a comfort food. Cravings can also come from environment and habits. Your brain connects behaviors to places and routines. So, for example, if every time you snack is at night watching TV, or when you're laying down on the couch, that's when you're snacking. Your brain associate those environments with those routines and places. So even though if you're not physically hungry, those environments triggers cravings automatically because your brain loves patterns and that's how habits are being created. Now, since we understand what causes food cravings, let's go over practical strategies that we can do to help control those food cravings. And they work because they target the root cause of the problem, not the symptoms. First, eat well balanced meals on the schedule. For example, if you're eating 3 meals per day, plan when you're going to eat those meals and make sure that you are consistent with them. Eat between 3 to 4 hours. Make sure that those meals contain good quality protein and fiber because protein and fiber are the most satiating macronutrients. So they're going to keep you feel full for a long period of time. And you want to eat complex carbohydrates, potatoes, rice, oatmeal, vegetables, because they're going to slowly digest and release glucose. You're not going to experience those high spikes of glucose, like, for example, if you're eating highly sugary foods like cookies and candies. The best solution is to simply not bring junk food home. If you have a bunch of ice cream in the fridge or cookies or chips, it's just a matter of time until you're going to reach for them. However, if you have them because you want to host party or you want to have occasional treat for yourself or your kids or your guests, that's understandable. But maybe try to make them harder to reach. Put them to the basement or the garage so you don't see them. And that's going to help you to simply not reach for them. Also, try to find a healthier alternatives for snacks. Maybe for sweets, eat a yogurt or fruits, or try to find healthier recipes like protein ice creams and things like that. For salty, crunchy, fatty things, maybe you reach for vegetable hummus, something that satisfies that sweet or salty, fatty cravings, but with a healthier alternatives. Next solution is having a high protein breakfast. Personally, I found myself that when I eat a high protein breakfast, I don't experience midday crash it's much easier to get my protein intake for the day, and I feel fuller and more satisfied throughout the day, and I have less cravings for foods later in the day. So that can be also a helpful option, having a high protein breakfast. Next solution is to lower your stress level throughout the day. Instead of waiting until 10 p.m. after you come back from work, stressed out, and then you're just watching TV to unwind, do something midday, maybe even for 5, 10 minutes to lower your stress level. Maybe go for a walk, stretch, be in silence and meditate for 5, 10 minutes. Do something to unwind, relax. Can be a short periods of time throughout the day to unstress. That's going to help you to regulate your cortisol level throughout the day more effectively. Another solution that can be helpful is staying hydrated, drinking plenty of water. Staying hydrated can regulate your hunger and your cravings. And so before you reach for snacks, before you do anything else, make sure you first drinking plenty of water, and that can really help you suppress a feeling of cravings for food. And the last solution, and this one is also very beneficial, is that before you're reaching for snacks, make sure that you're eating a real well balanced meal first. So when you're about to snack, ask yourself, have I had a real meal first? Because if you haven't, your body needs a real food, not a snack. And the real well balanced meal kills much more effectively than snacking. So cravings are not about willpower, discipline, or motivation. They're about biology and habit. So and food cravings will drop naturally.